How's it going, guys? CrackedRack here, and today I'm going to be delivering something a little different to you all than I normally make. Mainly because if I have to talk about a lol cow drinking their own bodily fluids one more time, I'm going to scream and light myself on fire and run butt naked through a McDonald's or Subway. Today I thought I'd drop a few knowledge bombs on a few of you who are aspiring to be YouTubers. For some reason, there are millions of unloved kids and young adults out there who think being a YouTuber is a highly respected, sought-after career that is based on luck, and if you even become a mildly successful YouTuber, you are essentially god of the fucking earth. And even if you get negative publicity, well, all publicity is good publicity, right? I'm here to essentially take a big fat shit on your ideas of what being a YouTuber is like, and I'm going to tell you a handful of things that absolutely suck about being a YouTuber of any kind. Whether you have 100 subscribers or 10 million subscribers, it doesn't matter. This is all going to apply to you in some way, shape, or form. I've known YouTubers on all walks of life, and they basically have all shared these issues in common. Being a YouTuber is actually a very stressful aspiration, job, whatever the hell you even want to call it, as is being any type of public job, I suppose. So yeah, without further ado, here are 5 things that really suck about being a YouTuber. Number 5, you will deal with extreme judgment from family and friends. This is something I still have to cope with to this day with even therapy, like a teenage girl from the suburbs. As someone who wants to do YouTube for life, as video production is my #1 passion in life, the very worst thing I've had to deal with, aside from the number 1 or 2 spot on this list, is judgment from family and friends. Just know, if you decide to be a YouTuber or pursue this as a career, you will face extreme judgment from basically everyone around you who's ever been around you. As a YouTuber, you will likely have little to nowhere to run and be comfortable with other people unless you befriend other people who are also YouTubers or people who just don't care at all, which isn't super rare to find, but you're pretty likely if you start doing this to have a bunch of just like creepy, weird, obsessed fans who were people that you knew in your regular life before you even had any type of like internet traction. Now, I mean, if you're just Joe Schmo making rants and have like 20 subscribers, you're just fine. Or if you're someone who is basically anonymous on YouTube and has a large following, you will also be just fine. But the minute you decide to put your face or personality or name out there to hundreds of thousands of even millions of people, just prepare for judgment like you've never felt it in your life. I mean, hell, your own parents will likely verbally express their disappointment. Even if you're making wholesome content, they will still not be supportive, more than likely, or even will worry that you're a psychopath having sex with a bunch of whores and doing hard drugs. You're probably like, oh cracked, that's just you and you're projecting as per usual. Believe it or not, after basically a lifetime of being a YouTuber and having YouTuber friends, no, this isn't uncommon at all. Not only will your family members judge you and try to convince you to quit and make you feel awful about yourself and say that you're an embarrassing disappointment for not being normal, your friends will judge the fuck out of you. Your friends in social circles will all say that your work is garbage, even if it's objectively not. Now, in my case, my work was objectively garbage, but still, I imagine this happens to basically anyone that puts themselves out there. Most YouTubers I know have literally 0 friends. I personally have 7 to 9 non-YouTuber friends that I'd call decent friends, and even they have considered abandoning me solely because of the social issues that arise from being a YouTuber. Luckily, I still have my YouTuber friends, so anyway, it's something that you just gotta get over. Personally, I'm pretty over it. I still can get decently upset over like a specific comment once in a blue moon, but for the most part, I'm over it because I've been dealing with it for like over a decade now, since I was like 12. In fact, there was a point when I was about to get suspended from school and CPS called on my family because of the videos I was making back in like 2012. So yeah, judgment is a huge thing with this whole package, and you just gotta get used to it. Everyone will judge you super hard, but your friends and family will judge you the hardest. They'll also discredit you and claim you're working a fun job instead of a real job, which is extremely insulting. But you just gotta roll with the punches, or else you're gonna look like a douchebag. Now keep in mind, I suppose this doesn't count if you have nothing but extremely supportive people in your life, bore. Which happens, of course, but I'm gonna guess you're not a magical little unicorn with a perfect life if you're trying to become a full-time YouTuber. So yeah, just keep in mind this is absolutely gonna happen if you pursue this path. I do think it's gonna change in the far future with how people see this as a job, but it's gonna be a while. And remember, while your friends are all telling you that you're an absolute loser for making what you make, it happens to every creator ever. Now I know my very niche internet, like fame/infamy/notoriety, is equivalent to like a homeless guy who sleeps behind a dumpster every night and eats their own poo, but I have read the biographies of a few like actual superstars, including the likes of Anthony Bourdain, Eminem, Justin Bieber, and a handful more, and even they, actual celebrities, not just weird men on the internet, struggle with this very thing with their friends and loved ones, insulting them and putting them down and trying to stop them from their goal. So just remember, it's not just you, it's never about you, it's about people and their own personal issues. Speaking of which, the number 4 worst thing about being a YouTuber are the InCells trying to drag you down. Now by InCells, I don't mean 20-something-year-old men that can't obtain vaginal sex from supermodels or whatever the term is used for. That is the literal term. I'm more using it in a derogatory sense for very low self-esteem people on the internet, male or female. Unfortunately, because you're broadcasting yourself to potentially millions of strangers online, you're going to attract, depending on your opinions, a lot of incels or even femcells. And they are going to drag you down extremely hard. They will tell you that nobody cares about you, that you're a fucking loser, that your content sucks asshole, that you should just quit, that you're cringe. The reason they're doing this 80% of the time is because for some reason you're likely making them feel weird about themselves or like insecure. Either that or maybe they do personally think you're extremely cringe, which is just whatever. It doesn't matter that much if the internet thinks you're cringe. It doesn't affect your real life at all. Unless you're like fucking Ethan Ralph or something, you're gonna be fine. Now, this isn't going to really happen on YouTube itself. That will probably be pretty chill for you. It's more if your videos get cross-posted to places like Reddit, 4chan, Discord, Twitter, TikTok. For some reason, other social media sites are just extremely unreasonable and vicious. And they will fucking kill you for some reason. I don't know why. I've had some of the most vibe-killing, horrible comments made to me on those sites, just solely designed to make me feel bad about myself. Which it's my fault for taking the bait, yes, but I'm still human, and sometimes I'm just gonna take the bait, and it does hurt my feelings once in a blue moon. Or it really demotivates me. I know I make fucked up jokes about other people on this channel, but it's so absurd and, like, stupid. I don't think it's a big deal at all. Some people on these websites will fucking sexually assault you with words, though. They will find what you care about the very most, and they will stick their dicks in it. The good news is most of these people don't actually hate you or want anything bad to happen to you. In fact, most of them might even like you secretly, which is even more disturbing of a situation. But yeah, just know this is a thing that happens when you become any type of public figure, no matter how large or important or tiny. Even if you're just an old man who films himself reviewing construction tools, or you're a small child making vlogs about their day in 5th grade, or you're a super important political speaker, you will get this. Personally, the most degrading, obnoxious thing incels will do to fuck with you is if you have a girlfriend and are even mildly public about it, like at all, the incels will literally get in a fucking circle and be like, what in God's name? That girl you're standing next to is a 9 out of 10, and you're a measly 5 out of 10. You have no right to be in the same vicinity as her vagina, as if her pussy is on auction or some shit. So yeah, just expect this shit. The number 3 worst thing about being a YouTuber is the ego you develop. Now I know there are a handful of good people out there who wouldn't develop an ego from this. However, now is not the time to be pretentious and brag about how good of a fucking person you are and how you wouldn't do this or that. Because let's be honest, most people would develop an ego from being a, successful YouTuber. even mildly. I've seen people in tiny, shitty, minimum wage offices develop an ego over being in charge of the coffee machine. Human beings are just naturally drawn to power and ego and money, and that is what YouTube can provide for you if you're good enough. However, you need to watch yourself, because you can really develop a nasty, hideous ego from doing this. Personally, I've only stopped being super egotistical about videos and shit in the last, 2 years or so, but it took a lot of work, and I still struggle with it to this day. But yes, you have to watch yourself. You have to remind yourself that you are just a stupid idiot like everyone else, sitting in their room, usually in your underwear, giving speeches to people online who 50% of which are likely very vulnerable or lowly people who are struggling and may even have to dig in the trash can for what they're eating that night. Look, just remember this: if even the biggest musicians and billionaires in the world can be laughed at and deconstructed and made fun of, so can you with your little 5,000 subscriber YouTube channel. People like Elon Musk, PewDiePie, Eminem, CEOs of very powerful companies are made fun of rigorously, and you need to realize the bigger you get and more famous you get, the more you're going to be made fun of and the less you'll be respected. Many people, when they get 100k subs, become extremely narcissistic and think any criticism is abuse of them and their amazing art, and are generally just awful. Don't be like that. Try to be somewhat humble about the situation if you're a YouTuber. Remember that everything you're doing can be completely taken away from you in an instant while you cry. As fast as you come up, you can tumble down. Also, think to yourself, do I really want to be Jake Paul? The second worst thing about being a YouTuber is definitely the overanalyzation that people will do to you. Even if you're the most personality-less anonymous YouTube channel ever that does tutorials or something, people will overanalyze the shit out of you and it will mindfuck you. Now I'm going to tell my personal story with this. I've been creating content on YouTube, like I said, since I was about 12 in the early 2010s. And I have, as I've gotten more experienced at this, had various, really serious failures and a few successes. And have had dozens of rebrands and pseudonyms at this point. But I've watched the judgment on me go from a molehill to a mountain over the years. When I was 12 to 13, it was almost exclusively my classmates that judged me. People would stop being my friend because I was uploading Let's Plays, so I was obviously a massive bullying target in general, but it was actually pretty mild. It wasn't a big deal. It didn't even really affect me that much. From 14 to 15, I was homeschooled. But as I started creating animated little children's shows and such with other, at the time, kids my age who were trying to do this as a career someday, I started noticing people really overanalyzing the crap out of me. Analyzing how old I was and how old I looked in comparison to my age when I was 15. Analyzing every little statement I made and connecting the dots falsely to just some weird conspiracy theories about me. Analyzing any hint of confidence or arrogance in my tone of voice and calling me out on it every fucking time. Coming together as a community to rally against me and what I'm creating in various chat rooms just because they didn't like a super immature, untrue, irrelevant joke I made about a country or something. Just really obnoxious, invasive shit. However, when I was 16 to 18, it started really picking up steam. At this point, I was just getting people making Twitter thread after Twitter thread about me on platforms Twitter, analyzing everything I've ever done, suggesting that I need to be arrested because I insulted another content creator once in a very rude way. Literally analyzing any slight perceived immoral activity they had no context to and making extremely harsh judgments as a result. Just the most awful shit you could possibly imagine. So yeah, just know that if you choose to be a YouTuber, you will deal with horrible rumors and literally will have zero privacy. I am literally warning you. It is so severe and bad in 2021 with how people are on the internet. People will analyze a tweet you made about fucking sandwiches and state that it is bigoted and that you unironically should be censored and silenced because you are a prolific racist. I've seen this happen to a lot of YouTubers, but they will literally find your docs, like fucking Twitter will, Find pictures of you in vulnerable situations like at your college or something, and post a PSA warning people that you're a racist because they don't like something you said online. They will literally make you feel like you're the protagonist of American History X just because you made a joke about something fringe and abnormal. My advice is just to ignore these fucking people, maybe take some of their criticisms, if it's somewhat warranted, but there's a 99% chance it's just utter bullshit meant to bring you down. The very first worst thing about being a YouTuber is the drama. As a YouTuber, this will be the very bane of your existence, make no mistake. If you make content on this platform, unironically, you will get into drama. How you handle it will decide your entire career path on this platform. Essentially, you're gonna get into some nasty scuffles on your time on this platform. Either someone will be harassing you and they'll take their trolling of you to unbelievable peaks, or a community might take great offense to you for some stupid, arbitrary fucking reason. Or if you work with other content creators, there will be slap fights and inner circle drama constantly. Overall, there's just no avoiding it, and I do mean that. Even if you try your best to manage all of your PR and relations perfectly, sometimes you'll just get someone who wants to fuck with you, who is being totally unreasonable and has so much power over you, and it's up to you to either respond or not respond. I can think of 5 or 6 different malicious, hostile YouTubers I've come across since I've started on this platform, and they used to be able to make my life hell over and over and over again. But I've learned to just ignore it because you can't control people. And frankly, like I said earlier, it's probably not about you, unless you're like a child groomer or a criminal or something. Otherwise, there's a 95% chance the drama being leveled at you is stupid, immature, irrelevant internet bullshit. So overall, just be sure to avoid things like this as hard as you possibly can because it will tempt you and it will destroy your entire fucking life. So yeah, those are 5 things that really blow asshole about being a YouTuber. I'm just gonna be real, being a YouTuber sucks. I do it because I love making videos and I love interacting with people who enjoy my videos. I also like making money. But other than those 4 things, this platform is a cancer to the soul. People are rude, aggressive, angry, and they take out all of their life frustrations onto you and make you the scapegoat for their fucking bullshit. You will be utterly abused online and by the people you consider your closest people, in real life and online. You will probably get girls though, so I guess if you're a fucking insecure loser, this is the perfect job for you. I don't know why girls like YouTubers so much, but I've seen some girls fall head over heels for fucking Dark Side Phil. Girls just really like YouTubers for some reasons. They'll even leave their husbands for you, so I guess that's a pro. But yeah, as a lifetime YouTuber and as someone who plans on doing this until I die, be warned about all of this shit. And realize if you do decide to become a public figure of any type, you will guaranteeably deal with at least 2 out of 5 of the things on this list. So yeah, that's all for today. See ya.